All right, welcome into another episode of the Power Hour as we embrace Black History Month with Black History himself in this business, C.Red, the urban sensation. Hello, Red.
Hey,
And of course, we have the bastard child of JFW, PX. How you doing, Pac-Man?
Doing good. Good to finally be able to be on here right on time for a change.
And we appreciate that. And we have the lovely and talented badass knockout that she is. However you want to refer to her, we're just going to call her Rachel. Hello, Rachel.
Hello, hello. Oh, I'm
And,
sorry. I'm sorry. Hey, girl. Hey.
hey,
Hey,
girl.
girl. Hey.
Thank
Hey,
you.
girl. Hey.
Thank you. Thank you. And tonight, our very special guest is none other than the Thundercat, Adonis Allen. You have seen him at Wrestle League. You have seen him at Frontline, amongst other places. And we are happy to have him tonight. Hello, young man. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? I'm excited.
I usually see you with white hair, so I'm having a little bit of a
Right, that threw me
trying to,
earlier.
trying to process this.
Yeah, it's an adjustment like to me. Like oh my gosh, I feel like I'm losing sight. I'm acting different. Like, oh my gosh, I miss it. I really do. I do. But I had to, like, for my hair and my health, I had to. I wasn't moisturizing as I should. So
Well, you look. Now, see, there's the hair. That's some of the hair that we've become accustomed to over the past couple of years, as Adonis has been rocking our world in the local wrestling scene. And your scope of employ seems to be getting bigger almost every day. I know you're at Wrestle League. That's a big hub for you. The VR room is becoming quite the hot spot, I hear, on Friday night. I can't wait to check it out. Also, Frontline, you have made some noise up there in the land of Bulletproof Ben McCoy and company, and you're doing amazing work there. Where else can the kids find you? Because you're branching out a little bit.
yes. So I'm trying to work out. I knew Regrets Wrestling in Wisconsin. I have a fraternity date on the same day, so I'm trying to work that out and see um right now. But for the most part, that's it. I think no.
Well, Red very, very famously, well, internet famously, is a sorority
Fraternity.
fraternity. That's what I meant. Sorry, that I meant fraternity. That's embarrassing. Fraternity. You're a fraternity. You're like a bigwig in this fraternity down in Atlanta. So that means you guys are both fraternity pledgers, or have at one time been. So you guys probably have a lot of stories that you could tell us about, the fraternity life in general.
First of all, we're national, so we're not just in Atlanta, sir. There you Pax, get that one off of there. That's sorority, not fraternity. Both of y'all are fucking up royally tonight. Um,
This
Had
is
to
why I
happen.
mind my
and then
business.
he leaves it up there. It's like that's the sorority. There we go.
I got
That's,
it. I fixed it. I fixed it.
there
Got
we
you.
Nice save, Pax. Nice save.
But yes, I am the National Dean of Pledges and the Illinois chapter Omega Epsilon president. So so you're talking about trying to do a show, depending on what you're doing, for said fraternity. What fraternity?
Business fraternity, Delta Sigma Pi.
Okay. I don't know. So is that your pledge date or
That's my initiation date. I'm in the pledging process.
that's your probate date?
My what?
Your probate date?
I I
Will
think so.
you will you cross?
I think so. Yeah, it's when I'm officially accepted into the.
Yeah, you might be busy all day, bro. So I don't
That's
know.
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
You might want to not. I understand the booking,
Mhm.
but trust me, when you finish the process, you're gonna be done.
Yeah.
You're gonna be spent, and you probably won't make that booking.
That's what I'm thinking because it's already like the pledge classes they hold. It's like mentally just so draining, physically so draining. So it's just like I don't know.
But yeah, other than that, I'm pretty much only in Frontline and Wrestle League, but I'm excited to start to branching out to new places.
Well, I mean, that's more than enough. I mean, you know, you know, those are two, if you're going to work at two places, those are two really good places to work, at least right now. I mean, the VR room, that hookup there, you know, I was watching, Christian showed me some video footage from what you guys did a week ago, and that crowd was loud.
That is my fate. Oh my gosh. So other than the Lucha in the Park crowd, it's like my favorite crowd ever. Like I have two favorite crowds, children and drunk people. They're so energetic. So both of them, so energetic, so passionate. And I love it. And like I think what I love so much about the what's it called, the Red Line crowd, the VR crowd, is that like the moment they hear my name, they go crazy. Like I feel such a connection to that crowd. And so I'm so excited to just perform more for them, especially as Thunder and Lightning. Like I think that combination is like gold in that crowd.
Yeah, we were talking before the show about how amazing that combination, and you and young Michael are friends in real life anyway. You're schoolmates at the University of DePaul, so you guys, you know, have a interest beyond the squared circle. Take us a little bit through what, I mean, do you guys hang out at DePaul? Are you pledging the same fraternity? What's going on? I mean, you guys are tight.
We are me and Lat. So we're actually roommates too. So
Oh
we
my
live
God.
together. Yeah, we live together. I remember I first met him. It was like the month I started training, which was, I want to say 2 Aprils ago. It was my junior year of high school. And so I met him, and like we had a pretty professional relationship. Like we didn't talk much. You could tell we wanted to though. Like we wanted to be friends like so bad. And so we got to talking about schools. And then eventually like we learned we both wanted to go to DePaul. And so we decided to room together. And so I remember the first day we roomed together, like it instantly like switched. It went from such a professional relationship to such a close bond. And to me, like he's probably the closest person to me in the wrestling industry, maybe even outside too. He's so cool. We travel together to some promotions. We even, oh my gosh, okay. So we sometimes wrestle together in the dorm too. Like we'll clear out a space and we'll just chain and wrestle. So I feel like it's never a dull moment with Joe, with Lat.
You guys are always kind of pushing each other to be better. I remember your debut at Frontline when you guys fought, and you know, I had seen you both work before, but watching you do that match, and Ben even said this after it was over, it was such a natural amount of chemistry. You were heel, he was face, but the in-ring skill and what you guys were doing, the storytelling was so good. I mean, we knew it then that you guys were a very, very impressive team, even though you're working against each other. Is that kind of where the foundation was built to go forward and maybe even be a tag team?
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like we've always talked about being a tag team, even before I debuted. And actually, like, I think only he knows this, but my gimmick was actually inspired by him because we would talk about being a tag team before I debuted. And so I thought, okay, what goes with Lightning, Thunder? And then I thought, what's a cool Thunder thing? And that's where I came up with Thundercat, especially because I used to watch the newer show a little bit when I was younger, so I had sort of that knowledge. And so, yeah, I think it's something like that. But I don't know. I love going to, like, we have such a great chemistry together. So like I do love going against him. I remember like we went to a freelance practice once and we got paired together to chain, and we had such a good chaining session, and that was my first time there. So I think that was a great, I don't know. I love working with Lat in any capacity. He's just awesome.
Yeah,
He's
and
awesome.
you guys have taken it to another level. I mean, just the creative opportunities that could go with what you guys are doing, Thunder and Lightning. I mean, the merchandise and the, you know, just all this stuff that, I mean, you know, obviously we live in a world where superheroes are that's big money, no matter what they are. You guys are kind of superhero wrestler hybrids, which is cool, and you guys can both fly. So, I mean, that's just, you know, I haven't seen a tag team like you since a team that I saw a few years back called Zero Gravity, because they, like you two, they had no fear and they would fly everywhere. And that's a pretty big compliment, because Zero Gravity was possibly one of the best tag teams of their era. I don't think they do much together anymore. We see Sparza
No,
quite a
I
bit,
think
but
it's just the Sparza.
I haven't seen his partner in a minute.
No,
But
I think
anyway,
he
you guys
left the
have that
group.
energy. Brett Gaikia, that was his partner, but that's neither here nor there. When you guys tag team together, you guys are like these very spontaneous, almost like bolts of lightning, to put it mildly. How do you coordinate what you're gonna do so you guys don't jump out of the building?
Wow. I think a lot of it involves like talks like to each other. Like he's always coming to me like with spots and shine spots. I'm always coming to him with like tag team move ideas. So there's a lot of communication with us, not only in wrestling but outside. I think that's what I think that's part of our relationship, and what makes it so strong is that we have no problem communicating with each other, but not only that, like communicating the hard things, or sort of like the things people don't want to talk about. Like we have no problem telling each other what we don't like, what we do like, what's a good idea, what's not a good idea. We keep each other grounded. And in shows, we definitely love planning our tag matches and planning what to do. We have a whole bunch of fun doing that.
Already right now, I want to see Thunder and Lightning take on the Bro Bros, because I
Yeah,
think that would be fantastic theater.
I'm so excited.
What is the finisher for Thunder and Lightning? I haven't seen you guys live yet. I've just seen the stuff on YouTube, and I saw the stuff that Christian had. What's the finisher? Do you guys have a finisher name? What do you do?
Not yet. We don't have a finisher yet. We've been talking about stuff like that though. Names, I feel like I think about that a lot, but like I think of stuff like Thunderbolt or like Storm Zero, Storm One.
No,
Uh,
you got to go all the way out Stormfront. There's a
oh,
Stormfront coming. That's the
I
shit right
love
there.
that. No, I love that. Okay. Yeah. Like, see the names, I think the names are easy, but the move, I don't
You
know.
guys got to
That's
do some
something,
crazy. That's got that
yeah.
finisher, because right now one of the coolest finishers in tag team wrestling that I see is Marche and Shogun as the final level.
Yeah.
Shogun will kick the super kick, and then Marche drops him with an M80. That would stop a herd of buffalo.
Yeah.
Let alone one human being taking both those moves. So you guys got to come up with something equally cool. So when you do come down to Rocket Pro and battle for that title as Thunder and Lightning, you could take it to your teacher and his buddy.
Yeah. I was there when they won the tag champs. I was so, I don't know. They're incredible. I love watching them.
I'm going to address Kevin Palmer right now. Kevin, I want to see the final level versus Thunder and Lightning. You could print money for that one. So I'm just, what are you looking funny for? You know you want to see it.
Why would you put these two young men that I love dearly through that? Like,
You got to
no,
believe, Red. Who's to
no.
say they aren't the tag team that takes down the final level?
Okay, I want to know, since Steve is dancing everywhere tonight,
That's what I do.
what made you get into wrestling? I mean, especially hearing, I know Joe's story. Um, but what's yours? Like, again, you were in high school. What made you search out a actual school and decide that this is what you wanted to do with your life? Like, I'm curious.
So I was a huge gamer growing up, a huge nerd in general, superheroes and games. So I was following the release of probably one of my favorite games of all time, Injustice 2.
And they did like a promotional collab with Xavier Woods' Up Up Down Down gaming channel.
Okay.
And I remember seeing Sasha Banks, and like her hair was so vibrant. I loved her energy, so I looked her up, saw a couple of her matches, and before then, I would hear about WWE. I think the thing I would hear most are like RKOs, but I would never like know what that is. And so I looked it up, and I thought it was like the coolest thing ever. And I love the drama. I think that's what I loved the most growing up. And so I I got engrossed in it. And I was always the kid who like figured things out. Like I figured out Santa wasn't real. I would look at like the
What?
cues and the
What are you
movement.
talking about?
You're right. You're right.
How dare you, sir?
I know. I know. But no, I figured I sort of pieced it together that it was a work. So I looked it up, found out because I wanted to be an actor myself before that. And so I looked it up and I thought it's that's what it is. It's like performative, it's acting, it's awesome. So I looked up schools and I reached out. So I found Wrestle League when it was just pro wrestling. And so I would like look at their pages. I reached out when I was maybe 14 and they told me I needed to be 17, which I think they dropped after like quarantine or something because I know Joe joined when he was 15. And so I waited. And I think the week after I turned 17, because I was in Florida, I came back, I bought wrestling shoes, knee pads, and joined. And since then, I've been in the business since.
Okay.
You say you like the drama,
Mm-hmm.
and it being like a story. I mean, you like the dramatic
Yeah.
stories that wrestling tells.
Definitely.
Just to kind of drift kind of where wrestling is right now. Everybody's talking on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram about what WWE has done right now with The Rock taking the place of Cody, interrupting the story. As it were, they are, everybody, it's been since '96 that The Rock got booed in a WWE arena. It's been a minute since people started booing him. What do you think of stuff like that? Are you following it today, or are you just kind of, I got my thunder and lightning shit. That's the only wrestling I need.
I've been following it a little bit. I've been seeing bits and pieces, and I feel pretty conflicted. Like I consider myself a businessman. Like I feel like I know how to separate feelings and business.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I saw a post about like another wrestler made. I think it was Damian Gray, and how stuff like that it broke immersion. Like they broke their own rules. It broke immersion, and I saw that, and I thought like I agreed. And then like I went to practice like a couple of days later, and then someone was talking about how like it's best for business and how like The Rock doesn't have much time left. And so like it's just like I don't even know what to think now. I think because Cody's taking on Seth now, right?
Well,
Or
I mean, we there's a
From
lot.
from
Go ahead.
last night, it looks like it's gonna be a three-way with Cody, Drew, and Seth. That's what they look like they set up last night. I don't know if that's gonna go into Elimination Chamber or not, but that's the direction they look like they're heading right now.
okay.
But
Well,
there's a lot
And
of people.
and everything will be like really kind of clear come Thursday during the
Okay.
press conference. So
okay. Yeah, I mean, I was watching the Royal Rumble, and when I saw him win, I immediately thought he could finish the story. Like so I don't know, it's so conflicted, but I feel like so many things happened, like Seth's injury and the stuff that's going on backstage with all the legal stuff. So, man, I just don't
I
know.
think CM Punk was supposed to win the Royal Rumble.
You think
so
so?
no, Punk was supposed to win at Elimination Chamber
Oh, is that what it was?
and then challenge Seth.
Okay, that makes more sense.
So since we talking about it, and I have yet to publicly express how I feel, it is about business. And I mean, Cody's stock has plummeted since last WrestleMania. Not his work rate, not his talent, just people didn't care. You know, he didn't get the job done. People really stopped caring, you know.
They care now.
Yeah, but why? First of all, The Rock is now part of the damn board. So he's calling shots. But I don't think this was where he called the shot. But I do think that this is a match that we waited for 2 years ago when WWE went to Hollywood. This was the match that everybody wanted to see. You know, I get it. We're in Philadelphia, you know, but this is the match that's gonna, I mean, who is the head of the table? You know, who is it? You know, for me, it will be The Rock because The Rock, of course, came first. The Rock has done everything in this business and then some. He's the one that fed that family after his grandfather and his father, you know, and his uncles. So, you know, and the bloodline story is actually dying, you know, so you have to shoot some kind of adrenaline into it, you know, to make it work, you know. Nobody gives a damn at this point about the bloodline, you know. It's not what it was 6 months ago.
Except maybe Paul Heyman. I think Paul Heyman cares.
Well, I mean, but Paul is getting paid regardless.
Yeah.
You know, and Paul is one of the best to ever do it. So I agree with you. I'm torn because I did want to, you know, oh, you know, he sucks, you know, he builds himself back up. Cody wins the Rumble, challenges Roman, goes on, you know, finishes the story. But I'm more invested in, like, for 3 years you've said you were the head of the table. You said it's all about you. It's never been about you. So, and
if
again,
I can hop in on that, I
hop
think
in.
because the bloodline is really about a family at its core, I think it would only make sense for the person to come in and challenge Roman to be somebody who's actually in the family and not an outside interloper, if that makes sense.
Does.
See, that's why we pay Rachel the big bucks.
Rachel.
Since you don't pay me anything, how should I take that?
Rachel tolerates us, so we appreciate that.
Blame Steve.
Everybody else does. I think right now it's everybody's talking about it. It's number one on Twitter. People are mad. People are happy. Red's vested. Rachel's vested. Adonis is vested, even though he's casually looking at it from the outside. Pac-Man quickly pulled up a Cody picture, so you know he's vested in it. And you can look all over the interweb, and everybody's talking about it. So whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, it's a great thing for this business because it's right now at the forefront of everybody talking about it. Fox is talking about it. NBC is talking about it. You know, it's everywhere. You know, the Forbes is talking about it. The New York Times is. Everybody has a take on, was this a good idea or was this a bad idea? And whether a decision is good or bad, as long as it gets interest and generates views and clicks and this and that and the other thing, it's good. So for the people that hate it, I mean, they want you to hate it. They want you to hate it so much that you go on social media, share their shit, and say you hate it.
They want you to hate it so much that you end up hate watching it and drive up their
There are
views.
so many people are going to be hate watching WrestleMania that this is probably going to be the most viewed WrestleMania in the history of the sport. Now that's a big statement too.
But isn't that what you want?
100%.
That think about, you just kind of proved my point as far as it is what's best for business, because if NBC and Fox and all of these news outlets are already talking about it, haven't you pretty much sold the damn pay-per-view? Or
100%, and you don't even know what's
live
happening
event?
yet.
You don't know what's happening. And would we get the same press if it was Roman and Kofi?
You would not.
No, absolutely not.
Would not. The Rock transcends the business. And when you have the opportunity to bring somebody, it's like bringing Taylor Swift to a football game. You now have people coming from outside wrestling that want to see Dwayne Johnson. Not we know him as The Rock because we're wrestling fans. Red and I have been on The Rock's coattails the entire time because he came from the Attitude Era where we were loving this business more than ever. So The Rock speaks to, it's hard for us to root against The Rock because The Rock is our guy. The Rock is what we love. It's one of the things that made us love this business. So there's no way that I don't want to see The Rock and Roman Reigns at the expense of anything. So I'm one of those people chanting Rocky, Rocky, not Rocky sucks.
And it's not just going to bring in like his fans from his movies, but it's going to bring in the people from the Attitude Era that stopped watching when it went PG.
And that happens every time when they bring in The Undertaker, when they bring in Stone Cold, people that haven't watched in a minute. Oh, The Rock is back. I have to see this. So for the WWE, they know what they're doing. I mean, you hear you hear the AEW fans saying, fuck WWE. Everybody has their own hot take. The point is, we're talking about it. This is what they want. We're just a little old podcast here in the greater Illinois metropolitan area. We're visiting with Adonis Allen. He's our guest. We've got a lot to talk about with Adonis, but we're talking about The Rock. So we're going to stop talking about The Rock. And
for all we know,
this is
Adonis
where
could be next. Adonis could be the next The Rock.
he very well could. This is where
He
Rion
could.
can stay in pocket.
Good.
I was outside the pocket. Now I got to get back in the pocket. The pocket is back for the second week in a row, right, Rion? Rion don't care. He's just holding his unicorn.
Fortnite unicorn.
That is
Yes.
a Fortnite unicorn. That was
knowledge
a
of
weapon of
Fortnite
mass
is so
destruction. That is a weapon of mass destruction from this past Saturday in Joliet, but we'll talk about that later. This weekend, Adonis, we have a little show back in Bakersfield, at the Bakersfield Bar in Marshfield, Wisconsin. Talk to me about what's going on in your head. This is the tag team turmoil thing where the people are going to get paired up with each other out of a blind draw on that day. We have no idea who are going to be partners in this very, very interesting round robin tag team tournament. Tell me how you feel about this thing. This is going to be pretty wacky.
It's going to be wild for sure, especially because I don't know. I was supposed to go with Chris Von Colt. I was supposed to go up against him. And then I now see that I'm teaming with him. So that's going to create a whole new dynamic, right? And like we went against each other in contact. He clocked my T there. He split my wig, but that's okay. I can put things aside to win because I'm a winner. It's just what I do.
You're not.
Okay.
Who just said that? Who just said no, you're not?
I know exactly who that is. Yeah.
Is that a hot rod kind of sneaking in here?
What's up, Andy?
How's it going? It's
Andy, you thought you could hide from us.
looking like Ricky Starks right now, buddy.
He does look
Not The
like
Rock.
Ricky Starks, which means Richard Atkinson will love this episode because he's
Yeah. Can you
He
do
is
the
AEW.
Ricky Starks pose? Do you know the Ricky Starks pose?
Oh my gosh, I think so.
I'm not on camera. How is he going to see
You gotta
you?
do the hand. Like,
Is it that like that
no,
thing?
that's Daniel Garcia.
You got all the ones that matter, though. That's like the Nikki Bella right there.
That's a good.
Yeah.
He went from Nikki Bella to Ricky Starks in just a few millimeters. That's pretty impressive. Tell me what your opinion is of Frontline?
I love it.
You've been in Frontline for what do you love about it? I know what I love about it. What do you love about it?
I love how it's like truly a family, and they took me. So the story about Frontline, I wasn't supposed to go against Kid Lad. So the nature, we all know the nature of the business. Things happen.
Hard, subject to change.
Yeah, and so
things happened. I was accompanying Disco Ray and the Bros. So I had my stuff with me. I met Ben the same day. I think it was like 30 minutes before the show started. And like, I didn't want to just sit around and like do anything. I felt I'm always the type of person, I want to make sure I'm like earning my keep and like doing whatever I can to help. So I told Ben, like, whatever you guys need me to do, just let me know. And then I was told that I might have to fill in and go against Kid Lat. And so and so yeah, I believe luck is when opportunity meets prepared. So I was prepared,
Yes.
an opportunity was
Yes.
put in front of me,
Get a
and
shirt.
I got lucky, and I've been in frontline ever since. Anytime you need me to fill
Andy
in, I
wants
was
you to
there.
make a shirt that says that.
I got you.
Preparation
I got
meets
you.
opportunity equals the Thundercat.
Adonis Allen. Yep.
Yeah.
There's your tagline.
All right. This is my podcast.
Yeah, I
Get
only
out.
wanted to come in and say hi. That's all. We'll let her do her
Right.
thing.
Get out.
Thank you, Andy.
Wow. Rachel just kicked Andy's ass right out. You see, you don't mess with the knockout. That is the thing. You got to understand that. When are you and Lat coming down to the knockouts, by the way? I'm just asking. You guys are
Oh my gosh.
traveling on trains all over the place. I'm at CSW. I blink and there you are.
I've been literally talking about it forever because
February 24th is my first bout back in almost
yes, I need
like,
to see you.
yeah, like 8 months.
Because it's literally like my grandma's house. Like sometimes I stay with my grandma, and it's super close to Homewood. The train is literally outside of Homewood. Like
If you take the Metro to the Homewood station, you walk 15 steps and you're at the building. Hell, I'll pick you up and drive you 15 feet.
So we're going. Like I've been telling Rachel I've wanted to see her do the roller derby for the longest.
And I want you guys to wear your Thunder and Lightning gear.
Say less.
Fight refs.
I have some new tricks up my sleeve that I'm gonna be showing off. So
I'm excited. I'm looking for. We will be there.
Yes. Yes.
We will.
And then I'll drive you kids to the after party.
Oh,
and we'll lie about your age.
A party outfit.
We'll
lie about your age.
We'll get you a soda.
We'll get you a soda.
All right, let's get back to talking about Adonis Allen and not the knockout.
Yes. So you're talking about Frontline, and your opportunity that you got, and you're not looking back. Now that you're there, now that you've proven yourself and you're on the card month in and month out, what's your goal? What are you looking to do there? Championships? Are you and Lat looking to go after the tag titles? Do you have your eye on Hot Rod Daddy Andy's title? I mean, there are a lot of titles in Frontline. Ken Anderson is there fighting for titles. They're prestigious. What's on the mind of the Thundercat?
Just so you know, if you want to go after Andy, I have no loyalty. I will be the Miss Kitty to your China.
Yes. Yes. I would love that. I would love that.
You made Red laugh. Red laughed
love that too. I would love that too. Matter of fact, I drive to Wisconsin to see that.
I'll give you a ride. Come on up.
We need to make it happen. But no, I'm open to do any and everything. I think I'm so new in my career and so green that any experience is a good learning experience for me. I'll love to take on the tag titles with Lat. I'll take anything. I think this has been such a good learning experience for me being in Frontline. It's like a broadcasted event. It's on Premier Streaming Network. So it's a huge motivator to not only improve, but constantly improve and evolve. And that's what I feel like I'm doing. I'm always trying to evolve my character, change my character, evolve my in-ring ability. And I would like to think I'm improving. Of course, like I'm biased and I'm always willing to learn too. But I want to go after everything. Shaq, Andy, the tag titles, and I just want to learn and improve. And I think Frontline is such a gracious and amazing place to do it. I'm very grateful to Frontline and Ben and Crystal and their whole family for having me and giving me that space to grow and just nourish my career.
I think that's what's so great about Ben is he certainly has an eye for talent, but he also has an eye for young talent to the point where he embraces it and wants you to grow with it, because it really is, the frontline family. I've been a part of it now for almost half a year. And I can't I limited, my bookings to be a part of it, because the first day I was there, I believed in it. And I believed that, I like working in places where everybody is on the same page, pushing toward a common goal. And as we're shooting every episode of Crossfire on the Premier streaming network, everybody's pulling in the right direction. All the vignettes are filmed, all the, and everybody's watching everybody else. It's cool, because when we're taping our commentary intros and outros, you look around the arena and everybody stops and listens to what we're doing. And we're not really doing all that much, but everybody wants to know what's going on. And I really like that, because a lot of locker rooms that I've worked at, people are pretty casually indifferent to the ongoings that don't directly involve them. But I feel like it's a different kind of feel at Frontline, and I believe that's something Ben preaches and is pretty successful, which is why I think someone like you, when you were prepared and you came in and you and Lat opened a show in such a spectacular way, that Ben knew immediately that you both were players that were going to stick and become part of the future of Frontline. And Andy in the same boat. Ben saw something in Andy and gave Andy a push that some promoters wouldn't give him. So I think Ben sees the best and the potential in people and puts them in the right position to succeed. And I think that's what makes Frontline special. If you agree, you agree. If you don't,
I definitely agree.
but I
Yeah.
think that's how it works, and I think that's what makes it so good. Now that you're at Frontline and you're a fixture there, and you are a integral piece at Wrestle League, and you've done a few things at freelance, what do you want to do? Are there promotions out there that you're like, I really want to get in there and do something? I'd really like an opportunity to work there. Do you have like a list of places you'd like to go, or are you aiming higher to AEW, WWE, Ring of Honor? What does Adonis Allen want out of the future?
Out of the future, definitely, I think the big goal, like at the very top, definitely WWE and AEW. But on the way, I'd love to get my foot in the door anywhere I can. CSW was such a great experience going. Me and Lat, the first time we went, it was, oh my gosh, it was crazy. I loved it. And like I really
I
liked
popped so hard when you guys showed up. I popped
loved it.
super hard.
It was so nice seeing everyone. Like I love seeing all my like wrestling friends as a fan. Like I love that experience. That's probably one of my favorite experiences ever. Rocket Pro, CSW, both places I would love to be as a wrestler, and going as a fan. It's just such a great experience. And I love how CSW, I'm pretty sure they are building like a young tag team. Like I remember seeing, like I remember going there and seeing Jack Valor and his tag team partner. I thought that was so cool, because I mean, being so young in this industry, I feel like I always cling to younger wrestlers. I think that's like the coolest thing ever, and like I just want to get to know them and like work with them. And so like I think that would be super cool to go into CSW and do. But in general, like I just want to learn and grow, and I feel like I can do that anywhere you put me. I want to do my best. I want to learn. I want to learn from anyone I can. And yeah. Oh, Feast of the Goat Queen. I think you touched on storytelling earlier, and the drama. I think that day I did like probably my favorite storytelling ever. Like me and Lat, we tagged there too before we were officially a tag team. It was a Renaissance fair, so I was like the werecat Adonis. I had a Thundercat sword and everything. I made it like I was in a financial program that time. It was during like the summer, so I was like dividing my time between that and making it. I was on a time crunch, but I made it. And I think Andy was there. I was up against Andy and Muggsy. Andy snapped my neck, and I was just like limp. And then Lat, he was a jester, like a lightning jester or something. And he took my sword. He would like, get energy from the crowd. He put it on me, and like I came back to life. And
I think that was just so cool. I loved telling that story. And then
And then I steamrolled you and Lat right into the
yes,
ground.
I loved that part. And like
That was one of my favorite moments ever.
I remember I slipped too, and
Yes.
I was just like, oh my gosh, like
And
I
we
was
just went with it. We were just like, yep, we meant to
yeah,
do that.
but that was so cool. Like
Is Feast of the Goat Queen happening again this year?
I
It
hope it
is.
does.
Do
Is
we have
it?
a
It
Oh
date
my
on
God.
that yet? Because I missed it last
We
year.
do not, but all I'm gonna say is keep your eyes on this space.
I'm so excited.
That's all I'm gonna say. Keep
I
your
would
eyes
love
on
to
this
do Feast of the
space.
Go Queen again. That was such an amazing
I'm
experience.
positive that we can arrange that.
Do
I
you
would
have a
love
date, Rachel? Do we know?
No, I'm not.
You have no date.
I will give you the answers when I have them.
Okay, very good. Well, she's our hookup when it comes to that kind of stuff. Rachel is Rabid Brewing, essentially. She is a liaison.
No, I'm not rabid brewing. I'm one of those people that just acquires knowledge by simply existing, and I just parse it out as needed. So all I'm gonna say is watch this space. But I'm positive there will be space for Adonis Allen.
Ooh.
I'm pumped. I would love that. That was such a fun experience. That was my first Renaissance fair too. Like that was
Yeah.
such a surreal experience. That was amazing.
There would be no commentary necessity at a thing like Feast of the Goat Queen. So I would just be simply there as an observer just to see what the hell goes on. I've seen pictures and I've heard stories. I just can't miss it. I have to see it. It just, the hijinks is off the chain.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was off the charts. So fun.
Boy, there was some damn fine stories that came out of that particular evening. It was one of my big regrets in 2023 that I didn't get to go to that. I don't remember where I was. I was somewhere else, but I was bummed as hell. Your contemporaries, you work with a lot of the Wrestle League people, you work with a lot of the frontline people. Who are some of the people that you're working with right now that you see doing very well in the year of 2024? I mean, let's hope that you and Lat do amazing things, but who are some of the people that you look up to and you work well with, that you work with in frontline and wrestle?
Like one of them is in that picture right there, Shaq Jordan. I adore Shaq Jordan. Like he's amazing. I feel like I can't say like I can't say enough good things about Shaq Jordan. Like we would always run practice like matches before practice, and I feel like we have really good chemistry in my opinion. I think we work really well together. We worked together during my first Redline show. It was a Pride show, which was so important to me, and I think the fact that I went over just made it so much more impactful. I came out with my flag, and it was such an amazing experience. And I think the Redline crowd was so welcoming. But Shaq, he's such a great leader in the ring. He's so talented, and he has the charisma. He has the look. I feel like he has everything, and I think he's going to go so far. Like Chris Quinn Riddick too. I remember I worked with him Lucha in the Park, and his attitude is just so amazing. He's talented, he's charismatic, and he does not care about putting you over. He's such a great worker. He wants to put you over. And I just remember working with him. He was just so excited to propose like just moves to do on him. He was so cool to work with. I loved working with him. And in terms of people I looked up to, I really look up to my coach, Chris Logan. I think he's awesome. I want to take him in a match one day so bad. I think that would be, so I know I'm gonna get destroyed. I'm gonna get hurt, but I think it'll be worth it 100%. He's awesome.
That's what I'm talking about. Thunder and Lightning versus the final level. That could be a cooler match than people would think.
I hope so.
Come on, Kevin, don't let me down now.
But no, other than that, like I look up to everyone. Everyone is so cool, no matter where I work, Wrestle League, Frontline, everyone is just so cool. I feel like one of the best things about wrestling, I feel like, is the camaraderie and the family that comes out of it. I truly consider everyone a family, and like I don't know, it's just so special to me. Like I love my blood family. Like I love them. But something about a chosen family is just so special to me, because I feel like they chose me not because they're related to me, not because they have to tolerate me, but because like they actually, like, for lack of better words, like they really fuck with me. Like they adore me. And so I think that's so special to me. And even like even people I only see once, like we'll see each other again, and like the energy will be like off the charts and the same. I love it.
It's certainly a great atmosphere. That is absolutely sure. Now, this is usually the moment where I give it off to Red, and I let Red give you roses. Red's been in this business a long time, and when Red analyzes a career, whether it's a short one, a long one, you have to really take onus to it, because when you talk about somebody seeing and doing it all, Red is that guy. He has seen it and done it all. But before I give Red the roses, I think Rachel knows you well enough where I would like her to speak about you for a little bit, because again, Rachel, whether she's a knockout or in wrestling, she is very savvy when it comes to people. And I'm always interested to hear her take on somebody's career, personality. So, Rachel, if you don't feel too put on the spot, what would you like to say to young Adonis here?
First of all, Steve, you have to start warning me when you're going to do this so I have time to put my thoughts in order. However, this is something I can do for Adonis here. Adonis, it has been an absolute pleasure to watch you grow in this industry. I like to think I agree. I'm pretty savvy with people. I know people. I'm in customer service, for God's sakes. I have to know people. But there are just people that there is something special about, and you are one of those people. And I have had so much fun just watching you work, getting the few opportunities I've had to work with you. Every time I get to see you in the ring, or even outside of the ring, or just practicing or helping out, like, you have such fantastic energy, and you're absolutely someone that everyone finds a joy to be around. And I absolutely believe that you could be the next Rock. And I cannot wait to see what your future holds. And I cannot wait to work with you again.
Thank you. Likewise. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That was very nice. Rachel, well done. All right, Red. Now you got to follow that up. Now you got to, we got to show everybody why you're the urban sensation.
I'm the urban sensation because that's who I am.
And that's Black history.
Adonis. I adore you. And so from the first time I saw you, I was like, the kid doesn't do it for me.
This is Rosen.
Then I saw your promo. Oh my God. So, and it was the promos between you. What are we calling him now? JR, Russell, what do we call? What are we calling him now? I don't know. Yeah. Pick a name. Damn. There you go. That's your new
That would
name.
be JR Lindsay is what we're calling.
I don't know. But I start watching the promos and the build up to that match. And you changed my whole perception of you. And then I got the footage of the match, and I was highly impressed. I've love what you do in the ring, but I'm also more impressed by what you do out the ring. You have, first of all, I'm proud of you that you are in school, you and Lat. I would like to think you and Lat are younger versions of me and my friends. because that's the type of bullshit we would have done. We did it in high school. So, but knowing that you have this passion, but where you hooked me at tonight, that will forever make me a fan of yours, is you went to a show and you were prepared. And I know vets that go to shows, don't bring their gear, and then, hell, I know a vet, he didn't bring his gear and he was on the fucking card.
Oh, come on
So,
now. Come
hey,
on now. I think I know who you're talking about.
oh well. So,
Yeah.
to know you went in prepared, but to also know you didn't have expectations of being on the show, but you wanted to sincerely help out in any way. I love that. I love to see young men or women that understand that I have to be ready, regardless of length in the business or what. But that lets me know that, one, you were trained properly, and two, when that moment arrives, you seized it. And not only did you seize it, you and Lat tore the house down.
Pour it
Like,
down.
how, like, understand, and I'm not even with the company, but I'm sure there was somebody in the back saying, how do we fucking follow that shit? Like, what the fuck are we supposed to do now? But they had to, regardless. To know that you are staying in school, balancing wrestling, keeping a great head on your shoulder. That's all I ask for. What you keep these tools that you have now, and you keep building, there's no limit. The one thing that I asked though, and somebody said it today, don't get comfortable. If you want to make it in this industry, frontline is great, right? All the other companies here, Illinois, wonderful, right? But I want to see you on the East Coast. I want to see you on the West Coast. Hell, you and Lack together, I believe you can go to fucking Mexico and rip some shit apart.
Lucha.
So keep being you, stay true to yourself as you have done, but also, again, and I just have to say it because it's the teacher in me. Remember your education, because again, with this business, anything can fucking happen. And you have to have another exit strategy, per se, a backup plan. But I believe in you, Adonis. I love your work. Again, you did throw me tonight with the hair, which was funny because I'm expecting to see the blonde, and it wasn't. And then they bring up the Ricky Starks.
Who says
comment,
blondes have more fun?
and I'm like, damn, he does look like Ricky Starks. He could be his little brother. Shit.
All right, somebody call AEW. We've got a pitch.
I'm dead serious. If you put both of them side by side, shit, it can happen. Just keep doing what you're doing. You are on the right path. You have the tools, and the great thing is you have Lat, who has become your confidant, your best friend. Like, you guys just stick to what you're doing. And oh my God, I see nothing but bright things in your future. Keep doing it.
Thank you. Thank
Wow,
you.
I mean,
Adonis,
he's
you got
like
some
a standing
roses from Rachel, and you got a damn after school special from C.Red.
Thank you guys. I appreciate like everything. Like this, I'm a big affirmations guy. I'm like big on affirmations, and I think this is like, this is amazing. This you like I don't know what to say. Like honestly, I don't know what to say. I'm just so appreciative. Thank you guys so much.
Don't, because
you.
honestly, it's not us. It's just what me and Rachel see. Again, Rachel, of course, spending time with Russell Lee has gotten to know you better. And for me, I know talent. To blow my own horn. And I've seen guys, and look at them like, you're the drizzling shits. Get the fuck out my business. And then I see young people like you who, in a short amount of time, has taken the tools that they have been given and started to use them. So I'm just saying what I've seen. Like, dude, you've got it. But more importantly, you understand life, that, hey, okay, this shit don't pan out. My education will. And that's, you and Joe make me so happy and proud on that level, that, I'm not saying everybody does it, but there are some guys, yeah, I'm going to be a wrestler. Yeah. And injury happens. And, now I'm asking, can I get extra ketchup packets with my fries? So
They never give you enough ketchup packets.
never give you enough ketchup fries.
Never enough.
Hey, so PX has a picture. Is this your parents?
Yeah, I think that wasn't my dad's first time, because I was at Legacy Pro for their rookie combine. He went to that, but this was my mom's first one. This was the Pride show. That's when I won, and that was their first time together seeing me perform. And like my mom, I was watching the videos back. She was calling me by like my shoot name, Anthony. She was like, she's still getting used to the business. While my dad, he's been like to like pay-per-views with me and my brother, so he understands a
I
little bit
saw
more.
that earlier. You and your brother had a pay-per-view with the chairs. That's, let me just say, hold that dear. I tell people all the time, my father only went to one match. God rest his soul. But it was when I first started. But he was always my biggest supporter. Mama Red could not care fucking less if I was on Monday nights, Friday nights, Wednesday nights, Sunday pay-per-views. She couldn't give a shit. So when you have a support system that's there and believes in you, dude, that's all it takes, dude. I admire, and I know he's gonna say some shit later, but I admire Rion's skills and his father. Because his father is always there to help him, support him. His mom is at the shows like shit. What I wouldn't have given to have gotten my father 2 more shows. He was health-wise wasn't able. But when you have your family behind you, shit, I ain't worried about you no more. Education, family, best friend, shit, you got all the tools to make it. Go ahead. Knock the damn world out. Go ahead. I expect to see you on TV. And when you do, don't act like you don't know me, please.
No, not at all. No.
Please.
Don't do what Red does to others when he's on NWA. Act like he don't know you.
Hey, real quick.
Do as he says, don't do as he does.
Real quick. Okay, wait, can anyone hear me right now?
We can
Yes,
hear
we
you.
can.
Okay, I'll just 2 things and then I'll go back to being silent. Adonis, is that okay to call you Adonis? Okay. When you get a chance, you don't have to answer it now. Check your messenger.
Okay.
The second thing, Red, the only reason they come to shows because they're down the street from the house. Like that's the only reason why they show
Hey,
up. They
it
just
don't
so
matter.
happen to be in the area. One is coming from church, the other one is coming from practice. So it's a minor. It's on the way to things that they're doing.
And one of them just happened to build a steel cage. All right.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
look at it. Well, first off, that wasn't steel. We both know it wasn't steel.
It was
It was
steel to
wood.
me, damn it. It's still steel to me.
It's steel in my heart.
Did Steel bless the ring? Yes or no?
Steel bless the fucking
Yes.
ring.
Yep,
Steel
Yeah,
it
cage.
was a
Steel ring.
D'Angelo steel cage.
Yes.
All right,
So-
well, agree to disagree. I'll go back to being silent.
Don't, but I get it. But again, and I'll say this, and we can go back to Adonis. When you don't have that support and you see that support, regardless if it's around the corner or it's 20 miles, whatever,
We're building a steel cage.
you kind of sit back and realize, like, damn, that's the one thing out of 20 years that I really wish I had. You know, like I said, my father, every weekend, you know, did I have a show? Did I make some money? Am I physically okay? Every weekend, whether I was here or he called me, that's all he cared about. That I enjoyed what I was doing for a living. You know, to know, and I've told this story before, that I got super kicked by Steve Voss, laid out in the studio, and everybody's freaking out. Everybody, the entire studio, thinks that I am really hurt the way I hit the concrete. My mother-in-law at the time is freaking out. Like, everybody, the promoter is getting ready to call 911. And my mother sat there like nothing fucking happened. And when I asked her later, like, why did all these people, I got the reaction I wanted from everybody but you. And she was like, oh, that shit fake. I ain't worried about that shit. Your ass all right. And I'm like, wow. Thanks a lot, Mom. So, to everybody in this business, Adonis, Rion, Steve's mom finally got to come out and see him with his family. You guys
Got that visit right in under the wire.
You guys got something that I wish I had. And I know I won't get it. I've accepted it, but treasure it, because that is something you will never, ever forget. Back to Adonis.
Adonis, while we still have you, I want to talk a little bit about the card this Saturday in Marshfield. But your dad at the VR room, and your dad taking you to wrestling events when you were small. Is your dad a wrestling fan?
So I was no, like currently no, but I found out
through his brother, my uncle, and my aunt, that they used to watch all the time when they were younger. So I think sort of like internally he is like, I've never seen him watch it. I discovered wrestling through the Injustice through Sasha Banks. So I got myself into wrestling. So I kind of brought them into it. Like I would watch it with them when I was like obsessed. Like that's all I would watch on TV. But no, I feel like him going to shows, it kind of maybe brings it out of him. Because my uncle would always send me videos and like people who like he said him and my dad would like obsess over and like love to watch. So, and I didn't know about that until my uncle mentioned it too. So I always find that interesting, and I almost think of it as like my dad's inner child coming out or something.
He's getting
So
to,
and it's
he's getting to
interesting to
live
think
through
about
you
his son
maybe a
doing
little
it too.
bit. He's
Pardon?
living through you maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I think about that sometimes. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. I do a lot of that through my own son. So it's a really, really nice thing to have. Somebody does something you always want to do and you get a chance to see it from a different perspective. How does your mom like wrestling and you throwing your body around like a rag doll? Moms are tough.
Yeah.
Not Red's mom. Red's mom, that shit's fake. Now
Don't
your
give
mom might be totally different.
So my mom didn't even want me wrestle. Like I think part of it was she didn't fully understand it like my dad did. So she told me no wrestling without her there. Like, cause I guess she wanted to make sure it was safe. As if she would as if she would know. But
You're in the ring with Logan. Logan does something and she gets in the ring and tries to take out. Now that's good theater.
yeah.
I pop for that.
But what's crazy is I think even my debut, I wasn't ready. And I wasn't even planning to be on the card. But Shogun, my coach, he asked me if I had my stuff. I was like, yeah. And then he was like, okay, you're the pre-show. And at first I was so scared because I was like, my mom is not here and she's gonna like kill me. And like I told that to Shogun and Rockin' Rivera, who I was going up against. It was a triple threat. Me, Rivera, Gavin, and Chriso. And I was just like, my mom like doesn't want me wrestling. And they were like, we don't have to tell her. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I did it. And then I called her afterwards because I was super like, that was what I needed to know. Like, this is for me. Like, this is what I need to do with my life. And I was pumped. I was so excited. So I called her and she wasn't even mad. She was just like, okay, well, did you have fun? And I was like, I did. And she's like, okay. And yeah, she asked when the next show was. And then she didn't come to that, but she would manage to come to the Pride show and she loved it. She's been to like one or two since. And yeah, so I think she knows the business a little bit more now. She knows like I'm good. I'm in good hands. I'm protected. Of course, she knows anything could go wrong. She tells me all the time, it's dangerous what you do. Please be careful. But she's definitely an Adonis fan now. Yeah.
All right. We appreciate Mama and Papa Adonis for giving us such a wildly talented performer that we know and we love. Let's talk a little bit about this card because, boy, this is going to be one of those shows where if you think you know wrestling, you don't know shit. There are some matchups here. These tag teams, I was just going over these before the show. These are some very interesting tag teams, and I don't know if half of them are going to make it out of the back without conflict. Yeah. But the show is going to start off with another episode of All the Way with Disco Ray. I think we all here love what Disco Ray is selling, and his special guests are the Bro Bros. What could possibly happen when Disco Ray interviews the Bro Bros at the start of a show?
Man, anything.
Anything.
I wouldn't be surprised if the whole arena is hotboxed.
Cops are coming. That's what's going to happen. Cops
are
coming. They're ready. They've been trying to get the Bros on possession charges for years.
Yeah, and yet they walk away free every time.
They ain't got them yet. They ain't got them.
But no, that should be amazing.
When we start the wrestling part of the show, the first match on the card, The Ewok. I think we all agree that there are few in this industry that hit harder and are fiercer than Ewok. He is he's his own thing. He's one of a kind, in my opinion. And he is fighting for his championship. Somebody else who I consider very much one of a kind in Paragon. You can't pick that match, Red. We can't pick that.
I can't.
You can't pick you are not picking Paragon straight away. You are not.
I am.
Let you sit here and disrespect Ewok just because Paragon's your fam.
I have to. Family over everything.
Get right out of there's come on. That is as even a matchup as there's ever been in life.
I didn't say it wasn't
That's
even
Cain and
matchup,
Abel shit, man.
but I have to take my nephew. I have to.
Adonis, how do you feel about that match?
You know how dirty he is?
Man, that's a hot start to any show.
That is, oh my gosh.
I
Both
get
are
to
like
call that shit. I get to be the
incredible
voice of
athletes.
that match. I can't wait.
That's gonna be a sick match. I just know. Like, I adore both of them. I think they're so talented. Like, I feel like this could go either way, in my opinion. I think this could go either way. I wouldn't be surprised if Paragon took it. I think he's fierce. He is strong. He always says anybody can get it, and I truly believe anybody can get it. I truly believe he will just devour anybody you put in front of him. But Ewok, he's a monster in of itself. Like, I've crossed paths with him. He hits hard. Like, I had the marks to prove it. He's a hard hitter.
Beatmaster.
Yeah. Oh yeah, most definitely. He lays down the beats too.
He sure does.
I don't know. This could go either way, and I wouldn't be mad at any way it went.
I got 2 words for you here. Pop, pop. That's all you need. That's all you need. Then we start to break off into this very extravagant, unorthodox tag team turmoil situation. And round 1 of the Luck of the Draw tournament. And the draws happened, and the tag teams are known. We've got Will Emery and Adonis Allen as a tag team. I can't even picture that in my head. Something doesn't seem right there, but we get to see it. And they're taking on your boy, Kid Lat, and the return of the former frontline champion and Josh Price. Yeah. That might be the tag team that ends up in the finals. Because Lat brings the speed and Price brings the heat. So that's a good tag team. I don't know what Emery and Atlas do to coexist in that match, but that's tough to call.
Yeah.
I know you're not picking against Lat. I know Red's not picking against Lat. I know Rachel's not picking against Lat. I'm not even sure that Pax knows who Lat is. And then I know Rion's not picking against Lat. Sorry, Pax. I don't want to do you like they did you on JFW yesterday.
He know who Kid Lat is.
I know who Kid Lat is.
There you go. That a boy, Pac-Man. You speak up for yourself.
Will do.
But that's going to be a hell of a matchup. I can't wait to see how it works. And then we've got some very this is the luck of the draw. These people were put in a hat and these things were drawn out. Michael Wayne and Rockin' Rivera. What? Doesn't make any sense. And what makes less sense is our good friend and a man that arrived in Frontline very much in the same way that you did. Preparation meets opportunity in Cash Money. Corey McHenry teaming up with Mateo Valentine. I don't know. I can't pick that. I don't even know what that looks like. I can't even process it.
I can see it. I don't. So, Adonis, I'm going to drop some knowledge right now.
Here we go.
Here's the thing about these type of matches, right? The best example I can use, Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin. 2 people that couldn't coexist, and they wind up winning gold. you have to play to your partner's strong suit and realize that whether it's for one match or it's the whole tournament, you have to get along long enough to get to the end. You can't let your differences play a part, because guess what? The same team is doing the exact same thing. You have to be able to say, okay, last month, yeah, you punched me in the fucking face. All right, let that shit go so we can win this tournament. Because 9 times out of 10, the other teams aren't having those conversations. They're just like, oh, fuck it, I'm whatever, I hate you.
It just
Well,
gets
those are the,
weirder, Red. It just gets weirder from here.
it can't get any weirder.
Oh, it can, and it will, and it will. The next tag team is one that I'm sure Rachel has some vested interest in. The Hot Rod Daddy Andy drew quite the partner in this tournament in Bulletproof Ben McCoy. So that is that's quite a tag team.
Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna go down.
That's it. I think both of those guys can see the bigger picture. So if any tag team is going to be able to get on the same page, it might be those two. But they have.
Well, I won't be there, so if it spills outside the ring, Steve, you're on deck.
I'm hiding off in the commentary with Aaron Arsenal and Chris Lockman. I'm back a ways away, and I'm happy to be there at this point. They'll take on the tag team, and this one is just confounding. Jared Jacks and Muggsy James. You want to talk about two people that have absolutely zero in common and are polar opposites? That is spellbinding that those two got together. I don't know how that. They better take your advice, Red, because that's not even believable. I can't. They're not going to make it out of the. They're not going to make it to the curtain.
Well, then that's better for Andy.
Makes things a little easier for Andy and Ben, that's for sure. And then the final matchup in round 1 of tag team tournament features our young man here. First of all, he will be in a tag team that will be taking on another very unlikely pair in battle-tested Ben Evenson and someone we all know very well on this program, EJ Swanson. And
my old tag team partner.
Your old tag team partner. So there's no animosity there. And you, Adonis Allen, the Thundercat, will be pairing up with none other. I'm having a hard time saying it. Chris Van Colt. Tell me how you do this. Because Chris Van Colt is not the guy that calls it right down the middle. This is a whole other thing. And you know what happens. We better than anybody know what happens when a referee takes the step into the limelight as a performer. Because we watched Nubby Jones, a.k.a. Mike Bennett, become a turtle, and now you can't even go to Joliet and not get people chanting his name. So now you're tagging up with one of the best former officials that has been kind of sequestered into this little cult thing that they got going there. And he's your tag team partner.
Yeah.
And you've gone down the road a little bit with this man. You know this man. How do you and Chris Van Colt get on the same page?
I don't know what he has going on, but I know I can put our differences aside.
He ain't going to be wearing zebra stripes, my friend.
He's not, no. But if he can clock the other team like he did me at contact,
yeah,
we should be just fine.
Yeah.
We should be just fine.
So that's
let's not act like we're underestimating Adonis.
Oh no.
Let's be honest that again, like I said, if you can have that real conversation and say, hey, we have a job to do. See, all you have to do is get past match 1.
Yeah.
That's it. Get through match 1. You put your bullshit aside, I put my bullshit aside. Regardless of what we think, play to our strengths, go out here. Because again, I guarantee you, ain't nobody else watching this shit. So ain't nobody gonna take this advice to the point, oh, well, Red said we should work together. No, they won't. I'm telling you. Because I honestly could see, again, they're the sleeper of the tournament. Nobody is counting on them to do anything.
That's true.
That is when you're dangerous, sir. That is when you have the upper hand. Why? Because people have already counted y'all out. Oh, he used to be a ref. First round, they out. No. That's when you guys go out there and show them. Not only can you work as a team, but you're wrestlers. Not a wrestler and a referee, but wrestlers. Professional wrestlers.
A tag team.
The tag team.
And I happen to know that Mr. Van Colt watches this program, so I believe he will hear everything you said there, Mr. Red.
Well, again, then put the damn shit to the side. Let's win match 1. How about
Yeah, but
that?
they got a manager that is a little bit supernatural, a little bit cultish. So God only knows how that's
What?
gonna be.
Well, I tell you what. If you ever need me, and I'm free, give me a call.
Red's looking to manage Thunder and Lightning. Man, it'd be like the Soul Touches 2.0.
You keep calling everybody so touches too.
Because I just want you to come back and manage. I'm
No.
tired of your sabbatical. I want you back already.
I like my sabbatical.
And then the show will continue with semifinal matchups, 1 and 2 as the teams fight and come into the next round. But before the finals and before the final round, we get a world championship match and a big one. Now, we were all there. We saw Shaq and Quinn in one of the best pure wrestling matches I've ever seen. And we heard Quinn and we heard Shaq afterwards in what is one of the great all-time moments I've experienced in this business. So now Shaq, as the champion, has his first title defense, but he is standing on the train tracks. And the train is coming in the form of Tommy Trainwreck. That's a big, bad dude. Now, you were given your own roses there, Adonis, to Shaq earlier. And you have seen Tommy Trainwreck do his thing. How do you think the champ handles his first title defense against a much bigger and more physical performer?
I think Shaq has it in the bag, honestly. I do. I think Shaq has it in the bag.
You're very lucky. I don't think Tommy Trainwreck watches this show.
I
Ain't worried about it.
crossed paths with Trainwreck, and so has Shaq. So he has experience with Trainwreck. And, you know, Shaq is a generational treasure for a reason.
That's fair.
And I think he's going to prove that. What, Saturday night? Yeah, Saturday
night
in Marshfield, Wisconsin.
Marshfield,
Shaq is my full support. Even though he clocked my T to advance in that tournament. No hard feelings. No hard feelings. I'm rooting for Shaq. I think he will derail this train. That's
yeah. Well played there, young squire. Well played indeed. Pac-Man, you got any final questions for this young superstar?
I do not, but I do want to wish Adonis all the best. You seem like you have a great attitude for the business. I've seen you perform at Wrestle League show in Homewood over the summer. Can't wait to see you work in other places, bro.
Thank you.
Adonis, I'm telling you, if you and Lat come to Rocket Pro, you are going to be up to your Adam's apple in Pac-Man and his LIM. You can't throw a quarter and not hit someone in his group when you're there on a given Saturday night at St. Joe's Park in Joliet. The
You got a problem
LIM
with
are
that?
everywhere.
You got a problem with that?
I got no problem.
Oh, okay.
I haven't been asked to be in the LIM yet, but that's all right. My day will come. Adonis, we appreciate your time tonight. We love the fact that you're going for your college education. You're in pledging fraternities while still maintaining a very, very busy booking schedule with professional wrestling. Your hustle game is gold, my friend, and your parents have to be very proud of you because you work harder than anyone in the room, and I believe the sky is the absolute limit for you. Just like Red said, just like Rachel said, it might eventually be, can you smell what Adonis is cooking at some point? Because you got all the talent in the world, my friend. Now get out there and make us all proud, huh?
Thank you. I will 100%. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for taking time tonight to join us here on the Power Hour. We appreciate you, and we thank you for your time. Now go get your ass back in those books.
Yeah, I do have homework to do. I won't even lie. Yeah,
I'm gonna let you log out now. We're gonna finish the show. You take off and do your stuff, and tell your partner. And I have a suspicion your partner has been there the whole time. I see you looking off to the side, like maybe you got someone in that room with you, and since you said you were roommates, now Andy had no problem jumping in. So now, Lat, I got a problem that you didn't jump in. You didn't even come to say hi to us as you're sitting there in that room, and I've known you've been there since jump.
So this is actually, I'm sitting here with, her name's Asia.
Oh, I thought it was Lad. Sorry,
No.
Asia, that's on me. I got out of pocket again.
She's wearing my merch right now.
Hey,
hello, friend.
there you go.
Yeah.
Represent, girl.
Hello, friend.
She took pictures at the last wrestling. She's getting her foot in the wrestling world. She took pictures at the last show and currently working on. So DePaul has like a newspaper, and she's working on like Kid Lad Adonis Allen news story. So she's here.
She's a roving reporter.
Ooh.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well,
all right, that's cool.
Asia, we can't wait to see you in the business, girl. You come out and visit us anytime. You want stories? We got stories.
I will.
Come to roller derby.
Come to roller derby.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Well, Lat wasn't there, but you tell Lat we said hey, okay?
I will.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the one and only Thundercat, Adonis Allen. Adonis, thank you. We appreciate you. Now go do your damn homework.
Yes, I got you. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate
Don't
it.
make me raise my voice.
I'm hitting the books right now.
There he goes. All right, the Thundercat is taking a powder, and we will catch up with him down the road, and we will bring him back on the show and see what he does. So,
thank you guys. Have
good
a good
night,
night,
young man. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
All right. That was fun, right? Stop drinking out of that damn cup. Don't piss me off now. I didn't get no cup. I did get to punch Joey Ross several times, so that might even be better than a cup. All right, so we talked about front line.
Sit down.
We had a great. What now?
You made me sit down.
Well, I've been looking to kick Joey's ass for a long time. He keeps.
You already kicked his ass.
I want to kick it again.
Oh well.
I mean, you want to kick it again, but you're sabbatical, so you can't kick it.
Right, But hey, again, you pushed my grandson. You put your hands on my grandson. I just don't. I can't let that slip. Well, so
we took care of it, though, didn't we, Red? We took care of it.
Yeah, I mean, y'all took care of it. I mean, I kind of took care of it later.
As you do.
Joey had a banana in the tailpipe.
I'm not falling for a banana in the tailpipe.
Oh, but he did.
Oh, I'm sure he did. He's bananas about bananas. Anyway, moving on. This past Saturday night, we had a little bit of fun at Cupid's Carnage at St. Joe's Park. PX was there. Pac-Man, give us a little breakdown, your observations, because you were once again put in peril, and you're retired.
Well, I mean, I'm retired from in-ring competition, but as far as managing, like I said last week, I was given the chance to do so by Turtle, and I know there
That's
was that
GM
discussion.
Turtle to you, sir.
General Manager Turtle. And on top of that, I was pulling double duty. It was my first night as the backstage interviewer for Rocket Pro Wrestling. So had a lot on my plate, had to make sure that Johnny and Flash were able to be victorious. And thankfully we were successful. Steve, thank you for helping me get out of the way of all of that. And
At
standing
one
up for
point,
me.
we were
So thank
fighting
you.
over you. We were
Yeah,
punching each other over the top of your head. I'm very happy you stuck.
I was like, shoot, I got a duck, because like I saw a hand, I'm like, go.
It was certainly something, that's for sure. I saw a video clip, must have been from later on in the evening, of you and Maximus Orion and Damian Gray sharing some kind of cookie pastry.
Stroopwaffles. I'm gonna tell you, I mean, like, I don't like Damian Gray, like, whatsoever. I mean,
What
I
the hell
pinned him,
is a
for God's sake.
Stroopwaffle?
It's
Right.
basically it's like a wafer cookie, like a very chewy wafer cookie.
Hold on a
That
minute.
would be like the best way I could describe it.
Hold on a minute, Pac-Man. Rachel, what the hell is a Stroopwaffle?
Stroopwaffle is like a very thin, crispy waffle with on the inside usually like caramel or chocolate, and it is like a cookie and a waffle in one, and it is delicious. And usually people get them with their coffee, and they put them on top of the coffee, and the coffee steams it and softens it.
So there's a whole Stroopwaffle procedure, and I see it says authentic Dutch Stroopwaffles. Does that mean the Stroopwaffle is a descendant of a Dutch baby?
It is definitely within the realm of possibility, my friend.
I don't think I've ever had a Stroopwaffle.
Also, why did you default to me as the expert here?
Well, you have a style and a class, and you have an air of international mystery, where if anybody was going to be able to properly define a Stroopwaffle, it would be you, just being the most worldly of us here on the Power Hour.
Thank you. That is accurate.
I try to be that's the second time tonight I've been accurate with you. I'm working
Yeah,
hard.
what's happening?
Because I have no clue.
Um,
So where do you get these? Because now I'm intrigued.
You can get them at Starbucks. You can get them at the. Sorry, Pat. This is me now. This
Okay,
is me now.
all right.
Waffles is me now. You can get them at Starbucks. You can get them at the grocery store. Yeah, they are readily available.
So if I want one tomorrow morning with my coffee, I just go to Starbucks and ask for a Stroof waffle.
Stroopwaffle. Yep. If you go inside, they should be right next to the register.
And I can get them individually, or I have to buy a box.
You can buy one.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna try this. Might not be tomorrow. But before the week is out, I plan on having a Stroof waffle.
Red, as far
Please
as I'm concerned, Red, you could have already had a Stroopwaffle, because your grandson was sharing Stroopwaffles with Damian Gray and couldn't share a Stroopwaffle with his grandpa. That's not
Yeah,
right.
Pat. What the heck?
Well, I was full of cookies. I had cookies
And
Saturday
coffee.
night.
Rion's giving me that look. Why does Rion always have to look at me like that? That
I
is
don't know.
saying Stay in pocket, idiot. That's what that look is. I see that look way too much from him. He's not even here, and he's trying to keep me in the pocket.
Okay, well, either way, Pat, I'm turning this segment back over to you. But if you ever want to talk about pastries, I love pastries. I'm here. I had a very nice
I'm
Parisian
all for
pastry
it.
today. Okay, sorry, I'm done.
All for it. But yeah, no, they were delicious and they changed my life. Shout out to Missy Sweeters for sharing that with the group.
I did see Missy talking about the Stroopwaffle, and I was intrigued. And boy, would have liked to have gotten one myself, but apparently Pac-Man is running with the idols and wants to give the idols the Stroopwaffles, which is fine. I'm okay with
But
that.
then he gave one to. So here's a question: idols or undeniables?
Both are equally shitty.
I know, but you can only pick one.
I don't pick any of them. I don't want nothing to do with either of them, especially after what that son of a bitch, Steve Michaels did. That is some of the worst behavior I have ever seen in this business.
It wasn't just Steve Michaels.
It was heinous. It was
the whole
egregious.
fucking.
It was unnecessary.
It was the whole fucking group, and at some point, they're gonna get their ass whooped.
What he did to that poor woman is absolutely unconscionable. Made me sick to my stomach. I dropped many a vulgarity during that match.
August wasn't no goddamn better. August again. Really? You had to land on her head twice?
Twice. Really? Bitch.
No. So it's shit like that makes me cuss during live broadcasts.
And Tom Heisman makes you cuss.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Red said the word that you can't say at Rocket Pro because there are religious figures wandering around.
He was gone by then.
You never know.
What did he
God
say?
is always watching.
Did he say heck?
No, I didn't say heck. I can say it because it's my show.
Yeah.
So I said fuck. I told Tom
he
Heisman.
said fuck you to Tom Heisman.
And I didn't realize it because so we have to put this all in perspective. The professor,
that son of a bitch,
allowed Tom Heisman to come on commentary.
Yeah, he broke in again. He jumped the barrier and started coming at us.
And again, we're a pretty solidified commentary team, but clearly we see Blackburn went into business for himself because he never has anything interesting to offer to
he
the
had
broadcast.
One too many blue chews that night and got a little frisky.
There you go. Thank you, Rian, for that introduction.
He doesn't even know where he is. He's
gonna love
just
that
looking
part.
out. He doesn't know where the fuck he is. Look at him. Look at him. Idiot like that wanders into traffic.
Like, put your glasses on, Mr. Magoo.
There's the moment, Rachel, where Red said "fuck you" right to Tom.
Hey, it was a great night up to that point.
It was.
I got my coffee.
I got no coffee.
With this great coffee mug.
It says RPW on it. Where's my RPW Agents of Chaos mug? What the fuck?
With my name. Thank you, Turtle.
That's some shit right there. That's some shit.
And then I got laid.
Well, I got laid too.
Whatever. Didn't nobody.
It was the same way.
I got laid. So the night was going beautifully.
Yeah,
and then Blackburn does this shit. And, but I will admit, after the animosity, Tom Heisman gave good sounding points when he spoke.
More or less.
I mean, not about the final level, because we know the final level is going to kick their ass.
Bad. So, yeah, they've already had their ass kicked at the final level. It's not going to get any better for them.
So, but I will say during the main event, Heisman gave some good insight that we might not have otherwise seen or been able to articulate. So
Well, he's certainly been a student of this business for many a year. So the insight he provided at times was very good. I sometimes can't understand his native language. When he starts to speak prick, I don't understand it because I'm not trained to speak prick.
well, you got to remember I'm a special ed teacher, so you know.
Yeah, do you speak prick?
Unfortunately, I understand it, you know.
It's like
And when
you had to take
when
it
I speak it back, you know, things like "fuck you" come out, you know.
come right
So,
out. So that was
right.
you speaking prick. That's all that was. That wasn't you swearing. You were just speaking prick to communicate.
Right, that's it.
Well, that makes perfect sense to me. The father doesn't have to worry. You can't be upset about that. You were communicating, you know, across a language barrier.
That's it. That's it.
What we found out about Tom is he's multilingual. Not only does he speak prick, but he speaks jagoff and asshole pretty fluently as well. That's what we found out in commentary anyway.
Very true.
Rachel, did you know he speaks jagoff?
I can see it. I speak it too. I was married to a jagoff. Of course I can speak it.
Okay, so Rachel, you have a certain amount of multilingual of your own. You
Yes.
oftentimes you have a language all your own because
I do?
yeah, because you have come across some of the craziest situations and somehow come out the other side. So
Yes.
I don't know what to call what you speak, but most humans can't do it because most humans
I
aren't tough
speak
enough.
you can catch these hands. That is what I speak.
Yes.
I speak you can catch these hands.
You have the attitude of fuck around and find out.
Exactly.
Yes. That's why we
Fuck
all
around, find out, get fucked.
nobody
There you go.
messes with the cactus. Nobody. Why are you showing us a rock cup? Did Rocket Pro give you a rock cup too? Probably. I don't get any. Turtle said he gave me a raise. I got no raise. I didn't get a cup. I had to get cookies at the very end. I got one cookie.
But Steve, did you get paid?
I did.
I'm still waiting for my money.
That's fair. That's fair. That's why you
Quit
speak
your
catch
bitching.
these hands. That you keep
Quit your bitching.
That's true. That's true.
It is. It's rough.
Let me just say another Damian Saint cannot take credit. Even though I know he's going to try. Another standing room only event. And a card that I would match up against anybody else's card. From the opening bell to the final bell. Everybody except for the undeniables who literally are going to make me bring lighter fluid at some point, pour it on them in the back and set their ass on fire while smoking a cigar and calmly walk out the building.
Red, you and I might have to go deal with the undeniables directly at some point.
I don't give a fuck. I come off sabbatical to whoop their ass.
They think that they can just randomly mess with commentary. We are as tough and unified a commentary team. I mean, Shelly is already a registered badass there. There's you. You are C.Red. That's all we need to say. You know, I've played the fuck around and find out game, and I've come out on top more than I have fallen. The only weak link is the dude that wears the tassel and tries to mess. It's like he's peeing in our pool, Red, and I don't like it.
I'm trying to figure out what is he a professor of?
Well, clearly he speaks prick because he communicated with Tom Heisman very well.
Very much so. But
I want to talk about the final level and those moves they did. There's that picture up there,
dude. So I think that was probably the moment of the night. And
I've never seen anything like that before.
So I've seen it.
I haven't seen it, and I've watched wrestling a long time.
So I've seen it done, but not to the point where they tag out, exchange the person.
6 times.
So I was highly impressed. And you know, let's let's talk about this. Anybody notice that Logan was wearing Marche's tights?
Yeah, you know what? I thought that's who you were talking about when you said you got to bring your gear. Even vets sometimes don't bring the gear. Yeah, there's
Oh no, that ain't who I was talking about. That ain't who I was.
I know who you're talking about. That's Shogun right there wearing Marche's tights. And Logan said he lost a bet. No, I mean, I don't know. That's easy to say. What was the bet?
Right. Like, how do you say that and then walk out the ring and don't tell us what the bet was?
Right.
Like, was it who could eat the most cookies in the bag? Like,
did you ever stop to think that maybe that wasn't even Chris Logan?
Who was it then?
I know that's a weird question, but if we go back just a few months and we think back to super wrestlers, there's a second Chris Logan out there.
Oh, so what did
I'm
he do?
wondering, with those tights, could this be the alternate reality, otherworldly Chris Logan?
Was he wearing a glove?
I did not see a glove, but when the alternate reality Chris Logan was unmasked at Super Wrestlers, we did not see his hands. So we just saw his face laughing. So we don't know. Right now, wandering around this realm, this world, are 2 Shoguns. One for good and one for mischief. So,
You know, I have to say I'm still really disappointed that Catalyst Tambor wasn't an autonomous bucket. I just have to go on record with that. But if it has to be 2 Chris Logans, I'll allow it.
I mean, if you're not going to be an autonomous bucket, being an alternate reality Chris Logan is a pretty good thing to be.
Is it for Logan though?
I don't know.
Not for Logan and not for anybody that happens upon the alternative Chris Logan.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
We're not going to talk a lot about the super wrestlers tonight. We have a whole show in a month upcoming with Billy Wack to talk about shadows of the super wrestlers. All I can say is this. If the porch pirate is not a fucking vampire, we riot. He got bit. We saw it.
When is the next one?
Vampire, you become a vampire.
When's the next one? In March?
March 10th.
It's Mario Day, March 10th.
Okay. All right. Well, you know, I no longer have bookings, so
you buy a ticket, I will pick your ass up on the way.
And your grandsons will be there.
And don't forget February 24th, I better see all your butts in seats at the Homewood Auditorium.
Yeah,
I will be there.
Yeah,
for
this is
my
serious
return.
now. You better get down there.
Butts in seats.
Sorry, I won't be sitting. I'll be standing. I don't
All
like
right.
to sit.
Yeah, because if you sit, that means Beetlejuice will find you and probably kill you.
Yeah, you're gonna want to stay on your feet and out of her way.
Yeah.
Juice and I are on the same team this time around.
So I do have it in my calendar. So I do plan on being
on the 24th.
On the 24th.
Now I want you to put on your calendar March 10th.
Hold on.
Buy a ticket.
That's daylight savings time.
And I will be dropping the ticket link in the group chat as soon as it's live.
I have my ticket. Kevin Palmer is my travel buddy to Super Wrestlers. So he comes to my house and we go together. We can very easily pick you up and drop you off. So there is no excuse for you not to go to the Super Wrestlers.
I'm putting it in my phone now. It's done, okay?
Don't test me, son.
So,
C.Red.
Yes, sir.
You do what you like.
Am I out of pocket again?
Nobody cares about pockets. I don't think anybody's wearing pants at this point. Nobody cares about pockets.
I'm not wearing
pants. See everything. You don't know what people are wearing.
I'm definitely not wearing pants. So
I got shorts on. They got pockets.
You just made Red's heart skip a beat. You
I had
took
work
that totally
today.
the
I'm
wrong
wearing a
way.
dress. I had to work today. I'm wearing a dress.
Yeah.
Okay.
You keep your mind out the gutter there, Red.
Hey, I'm just saying, hey. But and I was impressed to an
Heroes
extent.
of our time. What a great tag team. Rian was on this show last week talking about their time at Galley and all the stuff the Heroes have done. I mean, they gave Marche and Logan a match. And there were a couple of moments
from
there
jump.
where it was a little sketchy for the final level.
They did their thing, they came out the gates and they were smart. Unfortunately, I don't think they were expecting Joey Marks to stay in the air and not have
Man,
any
I don't know how
blood.
that dude's head didn't explode from all that blood rushing to it.
I spoke to Marks afterwards and he was still loopy. So I would never take anything like that. Thank God.
A
So
couple other things that we saw at Rocket Pro this past Saturday night. We saw a vignette from Damian Deschênes and Connor Hopkins about the state of the Coyotes. And Red, we've been talking that all is not right with the Coyotes, and that cemented the point home because Deschênes and Hopkins are on one side of the fence, Berna and Rose are on the other side of the fence. And now the fence has divided again because Deschênes and Connor Hopkins have differing opinions as to what's going on. So this story just gets weirder and weirder, and the Coyotes become more and more divided. They weren't even at this show, and yet their presence was still felt. So I thought that was pretty impressive. And then one of the great moments of the show was the return of one of our favorite things at Rocket Pro Wrestling. And I think you'll agree that the Wave returned to St. Joe's Park. And Red, you were there. Who was responsible for the Wave?
that would be one Rion Skills.
Rion Skills got his Wave back. Can you feel it? I did.
You know what?
Because that could be the LIM. There was a bunch of those members over there. If anything, I joined in on their way.
No, sir. I saw you on both sides of the arena. You didn't get success on the one side. You went to the other side and you got your Wave. So I was there. I know what I saw.
Here's my counterpoint to you. According to you, you can go ahead and take ass whoopings and be okay with it. Even though I have many of matchups of you taking an ass whooping and not coming out on top. We can handle this.
I was in Rocket Pro. In Rocket Pro.
In Rocket Pro. In Rocket Pro. Oh, okay. I'm just making sure that we're on the same page.
Oh, no. At IPW, I get my ass kicked all the time.
Just want to make sure that we're on the same page as far as
that's a fan favorite thing at IPW. Oh, it's not a great show until Steve gets his ass whipped.
I'm just saying. There were a lot of LIM members on one side, and they looked like they wanted to party. So if anything, especially with me not having to wrestle and not having to deal with a bunch of BS, I at the very least assisted them in doing something they probably been wanting to do for a while. And now I can have to worry about doing it again.
Well, why not? Because it was so to witness it firsthand. And I got why it didn't work on our side. No, and I'm not, because I think and I would really like to believe, and shout out to all the special need adults that were there. They had a ball, they had a blast. But I don't think that they were ready for Rion in the Wave. Because I kept seeing a bunch of them look at him like, what is he doing? They had no clue until he went to the other side and got the party started, as he said. And once it happened, the whole building was like on fire. So
Rocket Pro crowd is always a great crowd up for anything. And Rion Skills was certainly the catalyst, but boy, did we have some fun. I want to talk about the main event, if I may, because I was told in no uncertain terms that we have forgotten to speak about Aaron Stone over the last couple of shows when talking about match. Because, he said he watches the show, and I'm like, well, if you have any constructive criticism, he's like, well, yeah, I do. You always skip my matches. Well, we are not going to skip what we saw in St. Joe's Park this past Saturday night. Dillinger versus Stone. Would you describe it as a car crash? A train wreck? Not be confused with Tommy. Two people flying around with no regard for their well-being of any kind.
So I would describe it, which is going to sound, unless you have seen the movie, you won't understand the reference. So go watch the movie. The Snoop Dogg movie called Underdogs. And in the very beginning of the movie, Snoop is a big-time superstar athlete. He gets pissed off at the valet. He hops into his very expensive sports car. I think it was a Lamborghini. And he drives off, foot to the floor, only to get hit by a bus. That is what I saw Saturday night, live and in person.
That was a long way to go for a bus collision. You could have just said speed.
It wasn't just a bus collision. Again, it was the fact that Stone
I thought you were going to say murder was the case.
Oh no, that's the best video of ever. They
Battle and the devil.
They did not care.
No.
And at some point, honestly, I was worried about both competitors. Like, are you going to be okay? Like, nobody cared about their body. Nobody gave a damn about. Honestly, the fans probably would have got hurt if it wasn't for the guardrails. Like, I think it was early in the match where they looked like they were headed toward us. No, take that shit over there. Because we don't want none of this. It was a great match. I have to say that. But while you're talking about Aaron Stone and Dillinger, how can you not worry about next month? How can you not worry that now the new number one contender, even though it was on bullshit, is Steve Michaels?
Yeah.
With Gray. And if Damian Saint, if Saint is close by, who's to say the rest of the fucking undeniables aren't?
I don't know. I don't want to talk about the way that ended. A, because it pisses me off. B, because it takes away from the storytelling that Stone and Dillinger did in that match. It was really, really special. And Aaron Stone has been a fantastic Rocket Pro champion. He personifies champion in every sense of the word, the way he defends it at any time against anybody, despite the shenanigans of our corrupt general manager. Now, fortunately, Turtle's around now, so hopefully he'll counterbalance the corruption, at least to a certain extent. But Damian Saint has tried to screw Aaron Stone multiple occasions, and Aaron Stone has had the ability to overcome. In March, he will overcome once again, because in life, in reality, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. And the heart of a champion always rises above. So the undeniable can come out there, all of them, and Stone will find a way. So, I hedge away from predictions sometimes. If I don't see a clear winner, I'm not going to predict it because I just don't know. In this match, there is no way Stone doesn't find a way, because Stone doesn't like it when people mess with his legacy. And when you take away from a 5-star match that Dillinger and Stone were having for the sake of no reason other than, I mean, he's already the number 1 contender. What the hell does he have to prove? He's already destroyed Koa. He's already injured poor Kayleese. He'd done enough. It didn't need to happen. He's taking away from Stone's legacy. And to use this analogy, Stone doesn't like it when people take food off his table. When Stone gets mad, Stone gets dangerous, Stone gets violent, and even the new OVW superstar that is Steve Michaels will have to pay the band when he chooses to dance. So anybody that was at Cupid Carnage, you got to come to Shamrock Showdown, because the main event, Aaron Stone, all he sees is payback, and he will have it. That's just
Well, I'm not, for once tonight. Again, we're in agreement. I despise Michaels now.
100%.
Somebody that I used to call friend. I can't. For the simple fact he lined himself with Damian Saint. Like, you don't need to. You don't need Damian Saint. You've proven that for years before joining the Undeniables.
Thought he was a first-class guy, always dressed to the nines, one of the most professional people in the room. And then with the help of the bearded devil, he stoops to this low. It's hard to see.
So I am with you. I will be, of course, with you side by side for Shamrock Shake. And
Shamrock Shake.
I mean, Shamrock.
Is that what we're doing? Are we having Shamrock? Because hey, Captain Dave, we want Shamrock Shakes.
Hey, maybe we can send packs out for the show.
Well, he certainly didn't give us any Stroopwaffles, goddammit, did he?
He did.
They are back, so I can make a trip. I had one yesterday.
Okay, so there we go. For Shamrock Showdown, PAX will bring us Shamrock Shakes, and we will enjoy.
Got you guys.
Now, you heard that live here, people. So
we don't get our Shamrock Shakes.
We riot.
To pay.
We riot.
Red had messaged me today, asking why aren't we doing a Black History Month show? And it's an excellent question. And if I didn't have the next 2.5 months completely booked, I wish I would have thought of that previously. Because there are so many things we could talk about in wrestling, outside of wrestling. I kind of want maybe we can find another day during the week where we're all available and do something like that independently of Tuesday night, because I think that's a fantastic idea. There's so much we can talk about, so much we can praise, and so much we can discuss, that I think that would be a great show. And I wish that you had sent me that message sooner, before I had the next several weeks already filled.
Again, I sent it. I sent it to you finally because it was in my head before I sent it, and just like never got around to it, dealing with personal issues and things like that. And when I thought about it, I sent it, and then I see on Facebook today. Me
Armand.
being considered one of the 29 days of black wrestlers, whatever. Marche had been yesterday. So I was today, and I was honored and humbled by what people were saying about me.
He was one of the good people at the LRP network that we liked when we did our show there.
Yeah.
I always thought he worked toward our best interest, as I thought our producer Bianca did. There were a few other people that I thought worked in our best interest. And I still follow these people on social media, and I wish them well. And it was very cool to see his write-up on you, because he's damn right. And then after I saw that, minutes later, I got the message from you. So we will come up with something, and I think we will do it, because there are a lot of interesting things we can talk about. When I was thinking about what would I want to talk about, the relationship between Michael Che and Colin Jost on SNL. I really think that is an interesting thing. There are movies about historical people that I would like to talk with about you. Wrestling history when it comes to black performers, particularly Ron Simmons, who is a guy that did something that not many had done previous to him. So there's a lot of material here we could go over. And, I really want to do it. So if we're up to it, maybe we can find a non-Tuesday where we're all available and put a special bonus episode together, because I think it would be great. I think it would be a lot of fun to do. And I think, it would be something that, people would enjoy and maybe make them think a little bit, because, we have a colorless dynamic here, as we all work together and we're all friends, and, it's great. And I think that, people could learn a few things by the way we carry ourselves and carry on. And I would really like to do it.
But that's one of the reasons why I love the Power Hour. I love Rachel. I love Rian. I love Pax. I love you. When we get together, whether it's on this platform or whether it is in person, I never see color. And to some people that's stupid. To some people, like, how can you not? I see humans. I'm shooting at this point. I've never saw Rachel as a white woman. I just see Rachel as a woman that will knock your fucking teeth down your throat. But regardless,
Look around and find out.
right? I just see her as a woman, a beautiful woman. I call Pax my grandson. And of course, there is a 1% chance that I could have a white grandson. But I don't, well, again,
That's hilarious.
If my daughter,
I want to know who the 1% is.
I just see
What was her
Pax,
name?
I see Pax as a guy who you cannot care about, fall in love with. Once you start talking to him, you get to know him. Like, oh my God, he's an awesome guy. Rion, I've never seen Rion as, oh, he's just a black guy. No, I saw Rion for years, and I've always seen him as a great wrestler, a out of the box thinker, somebody who, if you sit down and you talk to him, he can talk about anything. And the things that comes out of his mind is like, fuck, it stop and make you think. And when it comes to you, well, you know this, and our fans might, but shit, I've always seen you as my brother. We share so many similarities. You know, our love for music, which, you know, I think would fuck some people up if they heard the music that we like and we grew up on. That, you know, they kind of give us the side eye, you know, but then there's other shit that we just have in common. Right, Randall?
Wasn't even
So
supposed to be here today, Dante.
I know, right? So, I mean, that's been one of my biggest blessings is that I grew up not looking at color. And so many people do. And, you know, to each his own, everybody has to live their own life. But for me, I just see people as people, treat people the way you want to be treated, you know. And again, if we don't get around to doing this episode that we're talking about, that's fine. But I just think if people would stop looking on the outside, you know. So here's the thing that my father told me. If you take a knife and I cut you, and then I take that same knife and I cut me, we're both gonna bleed red. Doesn't matter what color you are. Doesn't matter what your sexual preference is or what your politic. No, you're gonna bleed red. We're all human. We all breathe the same air. We're human. So when people realize that we're humans, our differences is what makes us special. You know, and because we all can't just be, think about if the world was all the same. This shit would be boring as fuck. You need a little Rion to make you think. You need a little Rachel to punch you in your shit every now and then.
Walk around and find out.
You need a little Pax to offer you a beer.
Wrestling World, Ralphie.
We got beer too Saturday. You know,
you did.
We need a little Steve to stir the pot.
Agent of Chaos.
So,
and we all want to see C.Red.
No, you don't.
Got that cup, damn it. A wise man once said he wants to live in a world where men are not judged by the color of their skin, but by the strength of their character. It was accurate then. It may be accurate even more so now. Men and women judged for the color of their skin. Not for the color of their skin, but the strength of their character. And especially this month, it's important to remember that is a ideal well worth fighting for. So hopefully we can put this together. If not this month, then it would be good to talk about any month. But speaking about this show moving forward, next week, I have been trying to get this person on this show for years. When we were doing the gorilla position with our friend Martez from Detroit, when we were doing the Last Man Talking gig at the LRP Network, all the years we've been doing the Power Hour, I have been trying to get this man on this show, and I was never able to be successful. So I stopped asking. And then very recently, he came to me and said, "Hey, I'd really like to be on your show." And it gave me the greatest feeling that I've had in a minute. So on this show next Tuesday night is the one and only Jason Hades.
Wow.
And I can't wait to talk about anything that Jason Hades might want to talk about. You want to talk about Old School Crash Tested? He was there. You want to talk about Dreamwave? he was Dreamwave for a period of time. You want to talk about Chicago style wrestling? There's a picture right there that tells you we can talk about that.
He
And
was elite too.
and it's just a few days before the big Hearts on Fire show, in which we're welcoming Gringo Loco to the Franklin Park, and Sky Blue once again gracing us with her presence
Sky
from
Black.
AEW.
Sky
So,
Black.
Look at that young Jason Hades right there.
Dude, but that's from Elite, dude.
That's
That's
that. I've never seen Jason Hades that young. Man, he was a
Dude,
child.
Dude, quick Hades thing. Like, if
Save
you
it for
wanted
next week.
if you wanted to see a 5-star match, Jason Hades versus Prince Ali. Now Mustafa Ali. But every time they got in the ring. Every time.
Let's make that a talking point for next Tuesday night when we welcome Jason Hades, aka Hades X1X. The things he's done at Chicago style wrestling are the reason why Chicago style wrestling is where it's at right now. There was a match right there. He pulled that right out of his rear end. Hades versus Brubaker. I remember that shit. That was something.
Dude, again, I love Hades. So I'm honestly, I'm gonna be honest. Your batting, I was thoroughly happy with tonight, and I'm ecstatic about next week. So you're doing an awesome job with booking guests. So keep up the great work.
We've got some surprises coming up a little later this month too. If I can pull off the 20th, it will be geographically the greatest success of my life. So I don't know if it's going to happen, but I got something cooking on the 20th that might be interesting too. Thank you for watching the Power Hour tonight. Thank you to Adonis Allen, the Thundercat. Catch him this Saturday night, Marshfield, Wisconsin, Bakersville Grill, Frontline Pro Wrestling. The Tag Team Chaos is going to be something that we'll talk about on this show a little bit next week, but it's going to be hard to talk about a lot of things next week because I don't want to take away from the time we have with Hades because I've been waiting for it for so long. So for the urban sensation, C.Red, for the real deal, Rion Skills, for wrestling's Ralphie from A Christmas Story, that would be PX, and for the lovely, talented knockout that is Rachel, I'm Steve. Thanks for watching the Power Hour, and we will see you next Tuesday night. Good night.